I did all of that with my microphone muted. Anyway, good happy Friday, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all you lovely boys and girls. Welcome to our regular Friday cast. Yeah, so we are doing this on Twitch again, or half of it, and the reasons are very obvious because somebody, I won't name whom, somebody, well, he knows what he did. We'll just put it that way. How about that? Yeah. Shh. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah. So today, what we're going to do is a little bit different. We are actually going to do our Friday afternoon broadcast with. Oh, actually, 1 second. Just let me finish this. I'm so old now that I can't do two things at once. And you know what's the funniest part? The funniest part is that I am still younger than all of you. So I just know that there's going to be comments. But no. Anyway, so yeah, today we are just simply going to play allow the computer to play this game. And we're going to simply sit here and watch them while having our conversation. Sound good? Good. And before we start this, I know it says AlphaGo. Technically, this is not AlphaGo. This is the open source implementation of AlphaGo called Lila 0. Or it's the open source implementation of AlphaGo 0, which is based on Alpha 0. And so this is Lila 0. Train to... Oh, I can't remember. Let me check. Train to... version 0.17, protocol 2. Yes. This is not the newest. I don't think this is the newest. But then again, it doesn't really. We're just gonna have the engines do their own thing, and we're going to, you know, have our conversation and comment on the engine doing its own thing. And right off the bat, yes, you see Lila 15 and Lila 30. And this is my way of offsetting the natural advantage that black has by starting first. Yes, I know we do Komi of, I don't know what I did the Komi of 5.5, 6.5, one of those two. It doesn't matter. The point is, I do want this game to basically be done when we're done talking, so we're going to have about a move and a half a minute, and we'll get, you know, about 100 moves over an hour, and that should give us a good idea on who's ahead and who's sort of behind, and that'll be that. We're gonna have analysis on as well. Wait, where's my analysis? Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's the analysis. We can turn that off and on as we like. And now finally we're ready to start. Who would like to start with drinks? Oh no, we did. We changed that, didn't we? Because there are so many of you now. Yes, our regulator is now in charge of telling us who can tell us drink. I'm sorry for what it's worth. Okay. All right. Yes, that is the compositions in the background. Isn't it nice? It is nice. Just say it's nice. Don't say anything else, just say it's nice. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I mean, it is nice. I think so. At least I enjoy it, okay? And if you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry. But I think the more pertinent question is, am I really sorry? And the answer is probably no. Well, it's again this idea of supply and demand, right? Like there is a very latent demand, or rather there's an inelastic demand regardless. No. There's inelastic supply because I'm the only one that can supply this particular thing with this particular group of people. And so, deal with it. I don't even know how that's mean. You've been much meaner to me. In fact, you're the one that made that forced me to lose that bet. So, yeah, no, it's all on you, man. As an aside, I just want to say that uh, this particular version of Leela really does like going for the 3-3 position for whatever reason. Well, trust me, it's 3-3 because it's 3 from the edge, 3 from the edge. I know it says 17-3. I literally was just explaining it. But the point of calling it 3-3 is because it's someone who starts with the star and then you do the 3-3 to take away the corner. And I'm just saying, like, this particular version of Leela Zero is very, very happy to do that for whatever reason. Anyway, we were talking about drinks. Yes, see, I did it again. And in this case, though, you can see why, because it already lost half a corner to black, and so it's taking its own half a corner from black. So both sides, like, this is, while not exactly even, it's fairly close. And so obviously black has the advantage of going first, and as long as white in this case took 8 first, right? But as long as white still is defending its own territory, then black will start making some headway in here. Okay, drinks. Nothing unusual today. I don't know whether I should be impressed or not. Okay, I guess I am impressed. All right, you're welcome. My influence from last time. Are you sure? I'm not sure I believe you. Well, it's okay. I mean, to be fair, if this meant that you had finished drinking all of that, what was it, like raspberry vodka and blueberry beer or something like that? If it means that you had finished all of that within a week, not sure if I'm on board with this. Just gonna put that out there. I am not sure that that's the right way to go about it. And also, just I want to point out, we can see that black has a habit of doing the jump, right? It did it here, it did it here. Normally, if black had gone here, white would probably have made this move. Chilly. I'm sitting beside a window, so when I say it's chilly, that means, I have wind being blown in my face. Yeah, so this is a fairly standard formation. Black will do something like this, depending on, or it could do something like this. So the next move, if white does this, obviously you can see that then this area becomes very white. But having said that, if white had gone into this position, which is what, 12-4, then this area would have been very white as well. And so, like, white territory wise. And I just realized that this is now a minefield. But you know what? We are very much in context talking about black territory and white territory, so we'll just keep going. Oh, interesting. Because now you see what's going to happen is, if we repeat this pattern like this, in either direction, it'll leave black territory with a lot of very interesting choices to do, right? So if white now does exactly this same thing down towards the south, then this area is now going to be rapidly diminished and then can be attacked in the future with some amount of white playing, say for example here, in here. Whereas now this area is a little bit, there's a little bit less room to fight in, because when you're fighting in this area and you're helping black become strong down here, and that'll essentially negate the advantages of having 3 stones here, right? So in the future, white could also want to keep this light so that it can do a 2-space jump into this, or even further and try to do something about that. Yes, next drink, please. Ooh. What? Now you're the one with the interesting. I'm not even sure if that's interesting or if that's just. No, I'll go with interesting. So, like, is it shaken? So this is whiskey with blueberry jam. I don't know what it is with you guys in blueberry. Whiskey and blueberry jam. Like, do you shake it? Also, why whiskey? Smoky blueberry. Now that's interesting. That's actually really interesting. I wonder what that would taste like. Smoky blueberry. What would that taste like? Because obviously blueberry is not something you would ever just kind of like put on a barbecue. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine, no. Smoky blueberry. Well, I mean, okay, describe it then. Describe it. Uh-huh. Oh, so it's not really sweet, right? Like you're getting a little bit of the sourness from that, if I understand it correctly. Right? Like you're getting the sourness from the. So it's not it's homemade blueberry jam, right? Because otherwise the normal stuff is quite sweet. Okay. Oh, and then it's stirred, right? You don't. Is this? But why would you shake it? Because wouldn't that like dissociate all over the place? Huh. Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Oh. Well, okay. Oh yes, let's go back to the game. Good call. So exactly the same thing happened. So every 3 point in the game has now been hit, which is kind of that you normally don't see that. But I can kind of see why if white went for move 18, then there's no reason why 25 wouldn't be good. I am curious why white decided to do 26 here instead of here though, because that means it's the exact same shape. Maybe we can't do a engine versus engine thing anymore. Or I'll need 2 different versions of Layla Zero, because obviously the timing isn't enough to give them a different view. Right, so now white is gonna go, and white thinks that that's what's going to happen. So let's see what happens. But yeah, like, so we talked about this earlier, how white wants to take over. Excuse me, I forgot to say yes. Alcohol-free beer, Budweiser 0. So white wants to take over this or disrupt this territory because this is going to get really big because of this, and so that's why black did one further to the south here, so that in case if this were white, then there will be some nice interplay between these 2 points. And I know that seems weird, but that is the case. Like, if you think of each stone essentially having influence, right? And if you use the inverse square law to just draw a expanding circle around it, that's essentially what's going on here. Why are you emailing me? Why am I getting emails from... Oh, god damn it. Okay, no, we're good. So if you like, the way I sometimes envision these boards is each stone has its own circle of influence, right? Because it's a 2-dimensional game, and they tend to butt up against each other, but they also drop off at inverse square law. So one a white stone here is completely different from the effect of a white stone here. And so that's why, as white had to play 34 actually, because a black on 34 would actually kill. Not, well, maybe not strictly kill, but it would make life very, very difficult down here. So extend, you force black to extend, and then you do this, and the idea is sometime in the near future you either hit here or hit here. And that'll force lots of very interesting things for black to do, while at the same time, playing 38 is perfectly fine as well, because if you can grow yourself in this direction and you're able to surround these 2 stones, then suddenly all of this remains yours again. So white, can do something like this, or it has achieved its formations. It might do something weird down here. It might go all over the place. Who knows what the AI thinks? Actually, that's the interesting part about the AI. Because the AI is never truly, like, as far as we can tell from the games that AlphaZero has played, humans tend to focus on one area more than the AI does. And the AI, at least to me, seems to be all over the place more often than... I mean, humans do train themselves to, not do that, but the AI, it comes almost naturally for them to be all over the place. And that's really interesting, actually. Well, I mean, it's part of the code, right? Like, it actually doesn't matter so much whether it doesn't matter to the processor what each of the positions are. It looks at every single position and it studies every single position with every single move in mind. And that's just what it does. It's nice. Anyway, so next drink. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's hold off on the next drink for a moment. So obviously 38, 39 forces it this way, 40, 41, 42. 42 is a direct attack on this particular branch down here. The fact that black 43 doesn't care means a lot, actually. It means that this, being able to surround these 2 stones, and that's why black 44 is there, right? Being able to surround these 2 stones is much more important to the AI than these 2 or these 4 and having this half corner. So black is essentially saying it's willing to give up this half corner if it meant the capture and the creation of, territory in this area. And you can see why, right? Because here, this half corner at best will extend down maybe to this point. Like, usually in pro games, you're not going to get a lot more than that. Whereas this is a huge plot of territory, but you don't want to just give it away for free, and that's why when white played 38, you do play that 39 move, because you have some very interesting things in the future in here where you can try to fight back that way. But now you can see that like that. I wonder why here and not. Oh no, there. I'm being silly. Obviously, you want to do 47 in the south, because then you're opening up further territory along the right side. Whereas, if what am I saying? If you play on 16-6 like this, you are more attacking in this direction, but you are also cutting off your own expansion in the future. I'm not ignoring your drinks. I promise. I promise. Let's hear another one. I mean, if it's boring, if it's just like wine, then don't. So for before we get to the next drink, you see 48, 49. That's exactly it, right? Having attempted this to cut off these white stones from the ones on the right, and seeing that it's not going to be easy, it now goes back and essentially secures this half corner. With this kind of shape, you have, even if white does that, you have just barely enough to be able to survive. Now, having said that, you don't get any territory here, but you've survived, and therefore white also doesn't get any territory in the top right corner, and that's important. Okay, I started playing this game when I was 5. All right, this is and I met you only like 5 years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago. So this game is much more important to me than you are. Okay. Tell me your drink, bro. Tell me your drink. That's barely a drink. What are you doing? Okay. All right. I mean, okay. If you pair it with food, that is different. But if you pair it with food, that's also no longer a drinks party, is it? I mean, I guess you could like consider it hors d'oeuvres or anything. Also, just as a side note, you have to go 53. If you go here in attempt to take 52, white just takes all 4. But yeah, like if you are going to do that, I mean, I guess we could expand our Friday afternoon culinary party to include food. 54. That's interesting, right? Like what white essentially looked at this and was like, eh. And just decided not to continue, and that makes a lot of sense, because what else is white going to do in this era, right? Like white could potentially try to do the connection between this and the top right, but that again doesn't strictly matter too much, because it's not so important at this particular junction that it means that makes it, how do you say, because this doesn't look like it's something that will die, and this definitely doesn't look like something that will die either, so there's no real need to connect those two blocks yet, especially since this block is very light, right? Like you've put 5 pieces into it, and 5 pieces in the grand scheme of however big this area was going to be is actually nothing. And you can see essentially that white continues to threaten to move in, but then doesn't, right? Like white threatens this with a cut across, with a cut across like that, black stops it, and white just moves on and does something else, right? 54, 55, 56, 7, 8. I assume 9 will be... Oh. Okay. I thought 9 will be in here. Well, because for me, 9 in here would be essentially saying it's time to put this case to rest. But I guess the black player doesn't think so. And we are sitting at 50. How much? Let me see. a 57% black win rate, which I don't, or is it white win rate? It's black's turn. Yeah, I see. Oh wow, okay. I did not expect that. 60. Where's black? 59. 59. 60. Yeah, white is sitting at a 62% win rate. That is interesting. Well, I mean, you can kind of see why, right? Because this area is now completely taken. There is no real area for black to generate territory as of now. Right? White has this half corner, white has this half corner, black has this. But, you know, space that was meant for black is no longer there. And that's... Huh. Interesting. No, that's not how it works. Well, it's okay. Let me be very clear about this. Just because we are having a conversation about what you boys and girls are drinking and eating on a Friday afternoon, or morning, or evening, doesn't mean that the game itself is not important. The game itself is incredibly important and should be treated as such. Am I understood? Good. Okay. So we were talking about food just now. I don't mind if we want to expand it to food. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because it's like, I mean, I don't eat, right? Like, or no, that's not. Let me not put it that way. I do eat. I don't, what am I trying to say? I don't eat while I'm broadcasting, because that would be what social eating. But the point is that, you know, it still happens. Oh, okay. Also, stuff has gone down. Yes, 60, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is fairly standard. I wonder what the win rate is. It's still 62%. Okay. Especially because this area was taken, right? Like that original move at 32, and the lack of response from that move at 32, right? Because it went to 33 instead of trying to block something else off closer to itself, meant that it is now like this area is complete. It looks like it's completely gone. 60. Where's 67? 67. Yeah, that's a defensive move. 8, 9, 10. Maybe? Yeah. And the idea really is quite simple, right? Like if you can reduce this entire block, then there's nothing left to do for black. Yeah, exactly. Like it is very much a game about, you start off with the big picture, and if you can win the big picture, it's exactly like you say. This was the big picture of this game, right? And the fact that white managed to essentially carve itself out into this area meant that there was very little black could do afterwards. Well, like the way that this evolved is, yeah, there was very little that black could do now. I'm not sure if it was because that I'm using the same version of two different instances of the same version of the engine that's giving me trouble like this. Or not trouble per se, but like like the dramatic love for 3-3 that we saw. Okay, food, fine, food. What's up? Wait, bro, aren't you in Aren't you on the West Coast? Isn't it like 11? Aren't you like about to start work? Why are you having lobster? I mean, it's not even lunchtime yet. Like, knowing you barely just got up. Why are you having lobster? Huh. Okay, all right. Celebrating my yes, all right. Well, we'll go with that. Celebrating my my I don't know. Oh, what happened? Yes. It's obviously 73, 74 is attacking this. 5 takes that. 76, and so 77 is probably gonna run in that direction. Or I guess that works. But then 78. 78 doesn't need to take this. No. 78 doesn't need to take this. 78 or 78 could go somewhere completely different, but I mean it appears that the AI is throwing down with itself, right? Like this shit's getting real. Okay, 70 is up here. And that isn't surprising. If 78 were down here, 79 coming in this direction could actually cause the loss of these 3 stones. Excuse me. 78, 79. Huh. So if 80 does this, I assume black is gonna do the exact same thing. Yeah, we're gonna have to work on this. I did not. Okay. Honest to God, I did not expect them to be quite so. Yeah, exactly. Quite so consistent in the strategy, but I guess I should have, given that they're the exact same engine. I don't know. Right, because the point is that as we are continuing, we're going to see more of exactly the same strategy appearing, and that makes for a boring game. Oh, dramatically boring. Like, it's why you can't play a strategy game against yourself, essentially, right? Like, I mean you could, but it's, and trust me, I've tried. Well, it's because I grew up in a place that didn't play this, and I played this essentially starting when I was 5. And for the longest time, all I could do was play myself. No. How can you respond this quickly? Do you just have it like typed up and ready to go? Anyway, the point I'm laboriously trying to get to is this. When you're playing yourself, your strategies remain essentially the same, and that makes it difficult for interesting things to happen. So now, let's quickly look at this, because this could be interesting. The idea here, once these 3, I'm gonna assume another stone on this end, or somewhere up here. Oh no, up there. Okay. 83, 84, 85. The point, I think, is becoming quite obvious that, obviously 86, black is hoping to make territory in this area, right? So 86, 87, perhaps, and then perhaps 88, 89, something along those lines, right? Or maybe 80. Oh, okay, 86 can do that as well. I mean, I personally would have gone here. And the reason is this is safe. Like even that stone there doesn't matter too much. Like this is fairly safe. 87. That is aggressive. Well, no, that is extremely aggressive because the idea here suddenly is now you're going to fight for your life, fight essentially down to every last intersection, crossing point, whatever. You know what I mean. and that is aggressive, right? That is not only aggressive, that is dangerous. 88, support this. And I guess the point now is because 7 is here, it makes it difficult for there to be generating the two pieces of territory necessary to survive. So it needs to come this way. 89. Interesting. 90. This is safe-ish. 90. I wonder. They've captured one apiece. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, in cases like these, it is. Yes, we will get back to the drinks and the food. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to have a serious analytical discussion here. Okay, 90, that works. But what was I trying to say? In cases like these, I can't remember. Whatever, let's just go back to food. What are you eating? You guys planned this, didn't you? I mean, I could have expected it if it came out, of like London. It's 7 in the evening, nice lobster. Watch some douchebag talk about a game he doesn't play professionally. Doesn't matter. But like it's the afternoon of a Friday session of the last trading session of the week. What are you doing? What? And also, lobster. I mean, okay, I guess you can celebrate, but like, don't you have to be aware of the markets before they close? I mean, I know you're not a trader, but like, professional curiosity. I've... All right, okay. You got me. All right. Yeah. If that's the case, then why even bother, right? Like, you've already written your report. You've written tons of reports. You've written another report 2 weeks ago. Why bother writing another one today or earlier yesterday? Right? Why bother? Don't do it. You boy. Can you guys imagine this is the guy getting married? Actually, out of all of you, I don't know how that reflects on the rest of you. Oh yes, right, there's a game going on. They are fighting over this, okay. 95, 96, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. 8 will presumably do something that forces, because you can't leave this, so this is gonna be something that they're gonna fight over. Where's 98? Excuse me? Oh, I was looking at the wrong color. 98, okay. 91. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, you threaten a breakthrough and then black presumably takes, yeah, 100. And then depending on what black thinks, it might just place a stone there and just give up. That's eminently possible. I mean, it's been done. Yeah, and it's not like sometimes you just want to you use these types of threats to get yourself into positions that you want, and so it becomes a very very intricate trade of positions, right? Like we see that white wants this position like pretty dramatically, but black doesn't have any other good areas that it really wants, and you can sort of see why. This is a nice area. Of course, there's still a very big threat coming from here, right? And I would be surprised if white didn't just save this either by placing here or placing somewhere around here. Because now black is not so in exactly, right? Like black is there's not much of a threat anymore because the original threat was for white to take this position of 101, and once it's done that, that meant that essentially meant the position is gone. Like this area is now open, fair game. 103. So this is the goal. Actually, the goal is this area, right? So if 104 plays here, then some amount of defensive on this area would mean a nice large chunk of territory has suddenly shown up here. But I think white is still very much in the lead. Yeah. Ah. Yeah. So I was advocating for something along this line because then you could just run back. But I guess that's not brave enough for white. White in this case really wants to get at this core territory that has been developed. Because if 104 had been in this area, for example, here, or something like this, black could just move along with you and cut this off. Whereas now I'm assuming it's gonna run in this direction or this direction. Well, maybe not run. Maybe let's say advance in one of those directions. Yes, advance. There's nothing wrong with the word advance. I don't know why that's a thing. Or it could go east, west. Ugh. I'm gonna get laughed at for that one. And indeed I did. And yeah, so it takes 4 moves to take one piece, right? And so it's never about taking one specific piece, but about positioning. Like we can see in this entire game, only 4 pieces have been taken in total, and 3 of them were here. Oof. I feel bad for black. Because in this game, wherever territory started appearing, white just like slammed itself into it and just disintegrated it. At this rate, like black can have like a few corners here and maybe a few corners here, and that's it. Sorry, I was quite far from the microphone. I was leaning back in my chair, leant back in my chair, something. 108. Actually, where's 109? 109 is down here. So 109 is going to threaten a cutoff along this area, right? Because now black is essentially saying let's go again. Because 111, if 111 is here, and then there's a threat of this. Oh, 111 isn't there. Where's 110? 110. Ah, okay. So 110 threatens. You see, that's the problem, because now this white is in a perfect position to cut this block off. And this block is not safe yet. Ish. It kind of is, but it, like, a very dedicated white player could probably, like, go ham on it. 111, 112. This is a defensive move to make sure that all these pieces are in unison. And you can see why 108. 113 is nice. 108 will threaten a... I don't know if there's a special name for this in English, but yeah, will threaten an adjacent move here, which will then link this up, right? And of course, that's what all of these are threatening. 113. I do wonder actually if it's the extra 15 seconds that white has gotten. You do this, and depending on how black plays, you essentially you do a little U or V if you like, and that is a perfectly fine shape. Now what happens here? Okay. Yes, let's do one more. What are you having for your evening meal? I'm sorry, I'm not really paying attention. I'm waiting for white's move. I've never understood like the whole concept of a Sunday roast. Where's 116? 116's here. And that is a defensive move. Interesting. A defensive move essentially in this case means fine, you take 82 and then attack in this direction. And I guess... Oh, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it just goes crazy from there. Okay. 117. Huh. Yeah, remember I said earlier that black would get maybe a few pieces here? That seems to be what's happening. Yeah. Anyway, back to the Sunday roast. I never understood the Sunday roast. I don't get it. Like it's I don't like roasted chicken. Like no, okay, no, that's not true. I do like parts of it, but like the modern chicken tends to be really dry. And leaving it in the oven for so long really doesn't help. At least to me, it really doesn't help. It doesn't help the case for the chicken. It doesn't help the case for just the food in general. And like roasted potatoes and the standard. What is it? Carrots and onions underneath. Like all of that is decent, but it's not delicious. And also, can I just ask why? Isn't it the Sunday roast? Well, I mean, a Sunday roast is a Sunday roast. Isn't it supposed to be done on a Sunday? I mean, if it makes you happy, and it's not like you made it yourself. You just went into a supermarket and you called for delivery. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's all expected. 23. I mean, okay, yeah, if it makes you happy. But like, does it make you happy? I don't think so, bro. Just gonna put that out there. Anyway, okay, so yeah, this is all quite standard. Black is gonna claw itself some territory in this end. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Something like that. Definitely not here, so probably like really though? Because then that would just mean that white can just like, jump right into this space, and then suddenly all this territory disappears as well. I'm confused. Though it does make sense if you manage, I guess, to get 106, and then you try to make some more space out of here. Because this can be infinitely extended. 126. Like, definitely black is not making full use of this wall of black pieces. I don't think so, no. 127? I don't know about that. Well, so the issue at hand really is that 127 means that it's like you're starting the attack on these pieces again, and of course white doesn't want you to, so it forces you to go somewhere else. But this isn't even a forced move for white, right? Like, so for black. So white is just saying, you know what, that's not important. I'm just gonna do this because this is more important. And actually, I will say that the engine is very much optimized for long drawn out guaranteed victories. Like the way that Lila Zero, or the way that Alpha Zero works, is really that it is focused not so much on winning by a lot, but winning more absolutely. And so that's why we can see these what is this? The percentages of white winning, right? The percentages of white winning grow with every move, and that's just, yeah. They don't have to grow by a lot, but they grow, like the certainty of white winning grows. And you know, that I could actually, yeah. If that's something you guys are interested in, I will. I mean, the algorithm itself is published-ish. I'm not in a position to understand all of the mathematics. When I was doing neural-nets, we had very little. Like this was how many years ago now? 10, almost 10 years ago. We had very little because we just had no processing power to do it. And since then, I've moved on to other things, and so I've never really continued with that study. But we can look at it. Let's see, 130, 131. I wonder why they're fighting over this. That's interesting. 131, 32, 33, 34. But no, like this is definitely white's game now. Even though white has tiny amounts of territory, black essentially has nothing, right? Like black can, as of now, has maybe, what is this? This is 3 by 4, 12, 15. If we're generous, this is like 5. Whereas white has 3 by 2, 6, 8, 2 by 5, 18, 18, 20, 22. We'll call that 25-ish. Right, so if we're being absolutely generous to black, black still is fairly behind in this case. Yeah, I think we'll just what move are we on? 137. We'll play to 150, and then, well, we'll let the AI play to 150, and then we'll call it a day. And no, I'm not going to get to the diet and the exercise today. I'll do it. Wait, today's Friday, right? Yeah, I'll do it. No, today's Thursday. Yeah, no. Why did I think today was Friday? And why did nobody correct me? I hate you guys so much. I hate you guys so much. And I love that our regulator just went along with it. I fucking guys. Okay, I'll get. I mean, what else do you expect, right? I'm just. I'll change the stream titles later, and I'll do the. Yeah. No, I have no idea what we're doing there. Okay, so 139, 138, 39. What move are we on? We're on 140, right? Yeah, we're on 140. So white is fairly safe. Can I just say, you guys are just the worst. Objectively the worst people that I've ever met. Objectively. There's no subjective part of this conversation. Like, this is you guys are objectively the worst people. That's okay. That's okay. So I just want to confirm. So all of that about turkeys and lobsters and all of that was all made up. And drinks, all of that, all made up. All right. Well, okay. So what I did was I took the cue from the channel. The channel's like, oh, well, let's get this Friday afternoon drinks party started, and so I just went with it. So, yeah, you guys are absolute trash. You know that. Just pure trash. Just for that, I'm gonna do something else tomorrow. Let's finish the game though. 140 took. No, 139 took. Where did 140 go? 38. 42. 44, 45. Yes, I am blind. Are you happy? But where did 140 go? I see 41. Oh, 40. Okay. Okay. Yeah, 41, 42. And this is basically. There's no more point to this. Because there's not even territory here left, right? Like, just a simple hop upwards against 117 will negate essentially all of that. And the engine agrees, right? Like, white has now a 84% chance of winning. Yeah, I think we're ready to essentially end here. I'll let the game play on in the background while I berate you lot. You guys are bastards. Funnily enough, and I don't usually say this. I was watching or not watching, but I was looking at the view count on the Twitch channel, and and there was one or two people that were sticking around, you know, for a little bit as I was doing the analysis. Every time I swapped over to talking about food, so people disappeared. And every time I came back to analysis, more people showed up. And then I swapped back to food, people disappeared. We talked about analysis again, and then someone else showed up, and I think got scared away because you guys convinced me it was Friday, and I was just laughing my head off, and yeah, completely made a fool of myself in front of a total stranger. And this is all your fault, and I'm gonna hate you all for eternity. Absolutely, there's nothing you can do to redeem yourself in my eyes. Okay, maybe that. Yeah, okay, no, I'll grant you that. No, I will not repeat what was just said, because that's definitely covered by NDA. Um, uh, yeah, I think we're about ready to cut it off here for today. You guys are absolute. Bless you. Yes, you're absolute achus. That's exactly what you are. Look, you've even made me cry. No, I'm not actually crying. Um, but I think we're good, right? Like in terms of the joy that you have had. Um, I I I, I don't know why people would click on a link that says Friday afternoon. When it's obviously Thursday. But I am genuinely thankful to all the viewers who stuck around for the analysis and then got scared away for the food because of the food. um, yeah. So in conclusion, then, what do you mean I can't do the conclusion? Of course I can do the conclusion. Oh, fine. Okay. So 155, 151. Just the regular thing. The black wants to reduce some territory. 54, 55, 56. Before that, 46 here. 47, 8, 9, 10. 51, 2. Where's 153? I don't see 153. And I don't see 154. Am I blind? I must be blind. Because they didn't exchange anything here, and there's nothing to exchange there. There's nothing new down here. If you find it, can you please tell me? You've already had enough of fun today. Oh yeah, of course, 53 is here. 53. I wonder where 154 is. Interesting. But anyway, so let's take a look. Yeah, white is just lose this. 7, 8, 9, and then 160 will be at L15. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Let me just stop this. Wait, did this get stopped? Stop. It was supposed to stop. It didn't stop. Stop! Okay, well, I think we're stopped. But in conclusion then, you lot are exceptionally mean. But we're done for today. So white has won pretty dramatically. And that all came down to the initial move 32 where where white went into this big territory and carved itself out a little niche, and then through then on, 32, 92, it did it again in 104, and just black was never able to build itself enough of support to create additional territory, right? Like black had these wonderfully long walls that it developed over the course of the game, but it never put them to use properly. And so, like, obviously this area is just gone. There's no way that black can make territory here, which means that this is the only portion that it's got. There may be 4 if black tries really, really hard. There may be 4, but it doesn't look like it. There's nothing here for white, but conversely, black also is not going to be able to take this. So there's no territory for black here. A few here for white. But in general, it means that white has dramatically won this particular won this particular game. So does that make sense? Are we happy? Are you happy? Let's all be happy. Excellent. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, please download Firefox. Please don't do Chrome. Oh yeah, my new laptop, it didn't work out. Trust me, I'm sadder than you are. Essentially what happened was MSI sent me this banger. Like it was, I don't even know what they were, how it made it past quality control. Like if the laptop spins up its fan, the fan starts catching on whatever is inside and making this incredibly annoying like banging sound because it's banging against something. And even if the fan isn't on, it's got this high-pitched whine that just will not shut up. And it's just like, how can that get past quality support, like quality assurance? Like it makes no sense. Oh, oops. If you think my voice sounds like a high-pitched whine, why are you watching? I mean, I guess you've answered my question there. Yeah, you're right. You don't have a choice. Congratulations. Now, anyway, thank you very much for watching. We shall see you tomorrow for our Friday non-sponsored I'll do whatever the crap I want broadcast. All right, that's it. Bye now.